Welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining me today because we're diving into something that is just absolutely incredible. The journey of a single avocado from a farm thousands of miles away right to your kitchen counter requires a supply chain so complex, it kind of makes manufacturing electronics look simple. So today, we're unpacking the exact strategies that make that modern global miracle actually happen. How in the world do farming, logistics, and retail labeling stay so perfectly aligned? The next time you pick up a pristine carton of milk, consider the massively connected global ecosystem operating behind the scenes to get it into your hands. It's not just isolated farmers and trucking routes. It requires a highly specialized kind of oversight to make sure the whole system functions without, collapsing under its own weight. Okay, let's dive into this. Managing the food ecosystem, the invisible conductor.
The professional term for this kind of massive coordination is program management. It's the structured oversight needed to align farming practices, processing operations, and distribution networks with an organization's overarching strategic objectives. Think of it as the master conductor of the food industry orchestra. It ensures everything from groundbreaking agricultural R&D to strict international compliance is coordinated into one reliable, systemic food supply. It's what actually drives efficiency across the board.
Our structured path for this farm-to-table journey follows three main steps. Step 1, farm productivity. Step 2, supply chain resilience. And Step 3, consumer trust. Let's start right out in the soil. Cultivating farm productivity, where it all begins. Now, what's really interesting here is that these aren't just isolated activities happening on a single-family farm. They are massive, top-down initiatives. We're talking about deploying automated harvesting across hundreds of farms, aggregating IoT moisture sensor data for precision farming, and guiding vast, complex crop diversification programs. Program management acts as the central hub, ensuring these advanced technologies don't just exist in a vacuum, but actually scale effectively across an entire agricultural network. But hey, maximizing yield without prioritizing sustainability? That's a short-term game. Program management actively drives eco-friendly farming, water conservation, and carbon reduction strategies right at the source. It really takes centralized oversight to navigate that fundamental tension, making sure that pushing for higher crop yields today doesn't exhaust the soil and water we're going to need to feed tomorrow's generation. Moving right along, let's leave the farm and look at securing the supply chain, the crucial middle network. The sheer difficulty of food logistics is staggering. Program managers are overseeing massive global vendor integration, but cold chain management, that is where the stakes are arguably the highest. If you're transporting fresh produce, meat, or dairy, maintaining a precise unbroken temperature from the processing plant all the way to the grocery aisle is absolutely vital. A temperature variance of just a few degrees for a couple of hours can literally result in thousands of dollars of lost product and severe health risks. Managing that seamlessly across continents takes uninterrupted, laser-focused oversight. And keeping things cold is really just the baseline. This middle network brilliantly illustrates how incredibly complex the web of food safety actually is. Program management enforces strict adherence to global hygiene standards, ISO certifications, and rigorous regulatory frameworks like the Global Food Safety Initiative. They make sure that a local vendor in one hemisphere meets the exact same uncompromising compliance standards as a major processing plant in another. Which brings our journey to its final stop. Build in consumer trust, the final destination. It is honestly shocking how much massive, coordinated effort goes into something as simple as putting a clear label on a package of chicken or a bag of coffee beans. Behind labeling coordination, traceability programs, and marketing campaigns is a huge data infrastructure driven by advanced ERP systems. When a label says fair trade or organic, program management is the actual engine guaranteeing that claim is backed by verifiable data, tracing all the way back through the supply chain to the source farm. And that hard data is what ultimately builds consumer trust. So the crucial point is really the bottom line impact, the value of alignment, putting it all together. Just imagine the absolute chaos of fragmented initiatives. If the farm's data doesn't integrate with the logistics team and the processing plant isn't aligned with the labeling department, you get massive waste, safety risks, and lost revenue. Contrast that with a strategically aligned ecosystem. By applying program management, organizations completely eliminate those silos, driving measurable improvements in efficiency, ensuring strict regulatory compliance, and skyrocketing consumer confidence. Because ultimately, all of these moving parts cannot exist in silos. The productivity initiatives out in the fields, the rigorous safety protocols on the highways, and the transparent labeling in the store, They all must operate as one cohesive, unified machine. That is the true power of program management.
Which brings us to a final, pretty provocative thought. Is your food ecosystem aligned enough to survive a resource-sensitive future? As the global population grows and environmental constraints get tighter, the stakes for this industry have literally never been higher. Strategic program management isn't just a corporate necessity anymore. It's the fundamental key to feeding the future. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today. Keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.